Hello and welcome to the webinar. If you're watching the recorded version of this, it was held live on Tuesday, the 2nd of August at 7:30 in the evening. My name is David Jones, and for the next half an hour, I'm going to be talking about social trading, which is something I've got into in the last few months working with ayondo. My background, I worked in the spread betting, the CFD, the trading business for just over the last 10 years, and I took a break at the end of 2013. Did a few different things. Presented BBC Radio 5's Wake Up to Money for a year, which was very good fun, apart from getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a week. But I've decided to get back involved with sort of spread betting and CFD trading because I like the idea of social trading. And I think tonight I'm going to just go through a few steps, how I use it, how I think it's complementary to other sorts of trading and that sort of stuff. While I'm talking away, I'm just putting up the risk warning there so you can read it, the normal risk warning when it comes to these leveraged sort of products. So like I said, I've been using social trading for a few months now. I think it's one of these things, it's been around for quite some time, but I think in the UK, I don't think it's ever been pushed that much because the two main companies in the UK don't do social trading. So I think it's something that we're maybe not that too aware of in the UK, but I think it definitely can be like a complementary add-on to other forms of trading. And the theory behind it, of course, is straightforward enough. What we're looking to do is follow other traders. So ideally, we're going to try and find people who are profitable, who are churning over consistent profits, and have their trades mimicked in our account. And I do it with a couple of accounts, and I'll show you tonight just some of the process that you can go through. And I'll give you a couple of links at the end. There's a bit more stuff on my website, jonesthemarkets.com, about how all of this stuff works and how I use it. But without further ado, let's just have a look at how it works. So let's say, we've gone to a list here of top traders. Okay, so these are traders who basically offer themselves up for following, I think is the easiest way of saying it. And what I've done here, I've sorted these by popularity. There are lots of different ways to sort the traders, but I've done it here to show the ones with numbers of followers. So let's just walk through. So all of this stuff is all publicly accessible via the website, but let's just walk through. So there's this person here who's called Mr. Dax. His last trade, you can see here, was 4 hours ago. His P&L, this is over the last 6 months, so he's had a bit of a sideways 6 months, but has made just under 1%. Maximum drawdown, this is how much of the profit has been given back from his peak account, has been 17.96%. Monthly volatility, it's quite a low number, 6.5%. I'll talk about this in a bit more detail in a second. He's the most popular one. He's got 2,000 followers, and he does on average 105 trades a month, and you can see there that's the chart of his P&L. Then let's have a look at this one here. So Edel Metal, this one here is the third most popular in terms of people following. Actually, here's one of the ones I follow. We'll have a look at it in a bit more detail in a second. The last trade he did, or she did, sorry, was 62 minutes ago. P&L over the last 6 months, that's a cracking P&L, 66% return. Drawdown, again, it's not too bad. It's only given back sort of peak to trough drawdown, 21% of profits. Monthly volatility, again, quite low. Number of followers, trades per month, quite an active one, 176 trades a month. And there you can see the P&L chart. Okay, then we have Halo 84, 23% over the last 6 months, and so it goes on. So what it lets you do is look at the performance of all the people who you can follow as a trader. And I think there's something like, is there a couple of thousand people? I think you can scroll down and you get to the sort of the least popular ones as we go further down the list. Okay, so this is where it all starts for me, is looking at other traders and seeing how they perform. And there are lots of clever filters and searches you can put on. If we click through to deep search, you'll see some here. But just to flip back to the presentation PowerPoint for a sec, a couple of filters to look at, or a few filters to look at. First of all, that page shows people who are trading on both a demo account and also real money. Okay, so it can be people who've built up a track record on a demo, and also there's people on there trading with real money. Now, for me, my view is if I'm going to use my real money to follow them with, I want them to have the confidence to be trading with their own real money. So one thing I look for, one of the first things I look for, is people trading with real money. Another thing is a smooth historical profit and loss. So it's all well and good for somebody to have made, I don't know, 150% in the last 6 months. But if they've been up 30% one month and then down 40% the next month, then up 20% the next month, that's not really a style of trading that I want to follow. So I'll show you in a second how I look for this stuff. So a smooth historical profit and loss, a healthy P&L to drawdown ratio. So you can see the maximum drawdown there. So if we look at Mr. DAX at the top, his drawdown has been about 18%. So he's, and I think that's acceptable. You know, he's only, if he made £1,000 profit, he's only given 18% of that back before he went on to make further profits. You know, if you see maybe the deeper drawdowns, actually there's nothing too horrific in that list there. Maybe if we get a bit further down, you know, if we get to a situation where someone's giving back, you know, I don't know, 60, 70% of the profits, for me that's a bit too much volatility, you know, that I want to be mimicking on my account. Here's an example here. Here we go. Oh, I remember this one, Group ST. So Group ST was doing quite well about 6 weeks ago, but you can see actually there in the chart, you can see it gave back 91% of its profits. So again, or her profits. So for me, I want to see a healthy balance between the profit and the drawdown ratio. Low volatility. Here again, you know, I don't want, I think if you're going to try and make 10, 15, 20, 30% a month, you're going to have to do that in terms of taking on massive levels of volatility. Me, if I can find a group of traders who sit there and crunch out a 1 and 2% return a month with low volatility, that's fantastic, you know, particularly in the low interest rate environment that we're all in now. So I don't want too much excitement month to month. I think when it comes to my own trading, I can get the excitement that way, whereas this, I see it as almost like managing a team of traders. And the detailed search lets you refine all of this. So let's jump back onto the platform. So let's go and click on the detailed search thing there. So if we want, we can choose to restrict their performance from X to more than 100%, the maximum drawdown in a month from 0% to more than 25%, the monthly volatility, we can dial in a really low level of volatility if we want. Then there are other sort of industry standard measures by like Sharpe ratio, money at risk ratio, that sort of thing. If we want, we can choose just popular followers. Me, I'm not bothered if they're popular. I just want them to make money. I don't care if there's nobody else following them. If they're making money, then it's something I'm interested in. And someone who's traded within the last 31 days, for example, we could choose. So we could say we only want active traders. So there's all sorts of ways you can, you know, rank them. So here, number of top traders found 539. So I'm presuming if I take some of these out, you know, we'll get more traders showing up if I click on show, and then we'll flip back. There we go, 1,762 top traders. So if I flip back, what I want to see first of all is real money. So if I click on here, hopefully you can see that, show all real money traders. So here we go, there's all real money traders, and it's sorted it by P&L. And I am following these two in an account. Let's take a look at Hectorius, first of all. Number 2, in terms of profit or loss, since incorporated. Let's have a look over, let's say, the last 6 months, and let's see if that changes. Let's look over the last 6 months and click. There we go. Oh, Hectorius is the top over the last 6 months. Okay, so the star next to the icon, that means he's a popular trader. There's a lot of people following him. R means he's real money, and I've chosen all real money traders anyway, so all of these people will be real money traders. And then let's go across ranking. So he's ranking top out of the last 6 months. There's his name or her name. There's career levels they can go through in terms of experience. The last trade was 35 minutes ago. Profit and loss over the last 6 months, just under 125%. Maximum drawdown, 19%, so 20%, gave back about 20% of its profits, which is, I think, is not too drastic. Monthly volatility is quite high compared to someone like Edel Metal down here, so 26% monthly volatility, 853 followers, as you can see. and trades per month on average 101.9 trades per month. And then this bit here, this is the bit always an important one for me, a chart of their historical profit and loss account. So you can see it's been a pretty smooth one. And like I say, I want someone who's hopefully, consistently profitable, or maybe not month on month, but quarter on quarter, and churns in a nice steady P&L without too much drama. You can see number 3 trader down here as well, similar shape P&L. Number 4 has come in with a 62% return, but you can see has only really turned it around in the last 6 months. So maybe they seem to have found their trading mojo. Saying that, they haven't traded for 25 days. But this sort of chart, like this one down here, is one I'm not too interested in, where you have just clearly a couple of large trades seem to have made the impact in the P&L. Someone's asked, is profit or loss since inception, or can you change it to annualized or other time periods? You can change it. So if I click on 3 months up here, it'll change the figures. I don't know if it'll change the chart. Let's see. We've got different people at the top. We've got the same chart. So actually the chart shows since their inception, but in terms of measuring their P&L, we have this person who's come in from nowhere, who's made 89% over the last 3 months, but again has made it in a somewhat erratic manner. But I mean, it's a good question you ask. What we want to do is maybe, let's say we find a trader we quite like the look of, like, hang on, where's it gone? Find top traders. I've clicked off the screen. Like Ectorius, wasn't it? Let's go back and have a look in a bit more detail. So we're going to go, we'll click on the name there. So what you can do, you can go and you sort of drill down and see a bit more information about this trader. Now, straight away, the one thing that does have me, and it does have me a little bit concerned here, I still follow this person, but real money, he's only been real money since July 2016. So before that, member since October 2015. So he's been trading for about 10 months, but most of that has been on a demo account. And as I'm sure we all know, if we've ever traded at all ourselves, trading on demo is a little bit different to trading in terms of real money. So I think that's, again, always something to keep an eye on. I don't want to have a bunch of people, I follow 5 people who've only ever traded on a demo account. But there you go. So real money for a month. Performance is registration, 125%. Maximum drawdown, monthly volatility, number of win trades, number of months that are profitable, and then we can say, okay, well, what's the last month been like? That's the last month. It looks like was up 2.5%, and has given it back. It looks to be pretty flat over the last month. What's the last 3 months look like? Up about 20%. What's the last 7 days? So you can drill down and see a bit more information. So it's been a pretty non-eventful 7 days, up 1%, down 1% for this person. Then if we want to, we can go down a bit further and we can see, okay, what positions do they have open? And we can also see, right, how have they made their money month on month? And you can see, again, straight away, for me, this thing jumps out. March, 71% return in March. That's clearly an incredibly exceptional month. And for me, to make 71% return in a month means you've either got a crystal ball or you take on massive levels of risk. Okay, but then looking at the other months, they're not too shabby. If we took that out, he's still he or she still has some good months, and you can see it's down at 1.9% month to date. Year to date, up 125%. And down here we have a few more stats where the money's been made. So we had 3 months we made more than 4%, and then the odd month where it's making sort of 0 to 3%. What markets the person likes trading? Mainly Wall Street, the Dow, okay, but also a bit of DAX as well, and some currencies in there. And there's the P&L made in there. So you can see all this information. You get a lot more information about them. Let's go back to our ranking list and think, okay, well, maybe let's try and find some people to follow. Let's go back to our 6-month view of real money traders, and we'll start following some of these. I have an account. I've got a couple of accounts. I've got one set up for demos that we're going to use here. And I think I am following some people on it already, but I'll take you through the format, how you do it. So I think I've got about 500 quid in a demo account, in a real account, but just 500 quid in it. Let's say we wanted to follow this one, old Edel Metal. Let's have a click through and see what old Edel or Edel's numbers look like. So you can see there's the P&L, real money since May 2016, registered December 2015. There's the P&L. There's any open positions. Scroll down to see any closed positions. Monthly performance, always an important one for me. So you can see the level of monthly performance there. So let's say we decide, well, actually, I want to follow that person. Let's go back to the ranking list and click on follow. Click on follow. Okay, so when I click on follow, so I've got my account set up. I've got a follower account set up. This person has currently got 148 open trades. If I want to, I can take those trades on at the prevailing market price, so wherever the market is now. So let's say 50 of those trades long the euro, those trades will be executed, but at the current market price. Now I think I've got no interest in doing that. I want to follow any future trades. I don't want to follow any historical trades. So I'll go, no, I won't skip, I'll skip that and go add trader. Okay, and that's it. And I can go, what I can do is build up a list, and it builds up a portfolio of traders that I'm following. So in the best spirits of Blue Peter, here are 5 that I'm following. So just to mix things up for the purposes of this presentation, I have got a couple of not real money people in there, and then 3 real money designated by the R thing here. Okay, and what it does, so if I build it, you can follow, from 1 to 5. I think 5 is a pretty good mix. Is the profit calc derived from the underlying markets or the profit on the account, including the margin? It's derived from, I'm not quite sure what the second part of that means, but basically if they bought £1 a point at 10,500 and sold £1 a point at 10,510, they've made 10 points profit, £10 profit minus any financing. So that it's calculated in the same way that me or you would calculate P&L if we were trading on our spread betting or our CFD account. So what it does, I've got these 5 people I'm following, and down here it shows me, if I go 6 months, there we go, it shows me the dotted blue line is an idealized representation of the profit I would have made on my account if I'd have followed them over the last 6 months. So I'd have made 106% profit. Wouldn't that be wonderful? If only I could go back in time 6 months and start following those traders. In reality, of course, it is an idealized view. We're hoping they continue their performance, but it just gives us an idea of how we would have done. So over the last month, how would I have done? I'd have made 5% over the last month following these traders. That does sort of tie in with my experience. There's a couple of important bits. What we could do, because I'm already following these people, there'd normally be a button there saying stop execution. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stop it. I'll stop execution, and then we'll start it again. So it'll close any trades they've got opened, and then we'll start them all again on a live account. I think it shouldn't take a few minutes. I think it normally just takes a few seconds, but I'm not sure how many trades I've got open on the account. I should do that before I started the webinar. But anyway, so now I've got these 5 people in my portfolio. So what I can do is, if you have 1 person in your portfolio, you can choose at what level you want to follow them at. So if you want to, you can completely mimic the size of their positions. So if you want to, you can, there we go, it's done. You can follow them. If they lose 2%, you lose 2%. If they make 2%, you make 2%. Or you can take on a level of risk either greater or smaller. Let me show you. So if I click on the spanner icon here, click on that. There we go. Set order size for Hectorius. Now, if Hectorius was the only person I was following, I can choose to mimic his sizes. So if let's say he's got a £100,000 account, clearly it's not going to mimic the size of the trade. It does it in percentage terms. So if he puts a trade on with a stop loss, that means he'd lose 2%. If I've got a £1,000 account, it means I'd lose 2% in my account if I'm following 1 times. If I'm feeling very ambitious, I can follow him up to 10 times the size. So if he makes 2%, I'll make 20%. But of course, if he loses 2%, I'm going to lose 20%. I'd never recommend that sort of size. And if you want to, you can dial the risk right down to a half. So if he loses or she loses or makes 2%, then you make or lose half of that. But what you'll notice is, if I put this back up to 1 for now, because I'm following 5 people, my risk is spread anyway. My effective risk factor is a fifth. Because please, if you're top, hang on, where's the important line? If you follow several traders, then your risk is distributed evenly amongst the number of traders. With 5 traders in your portfolio, you then follow every trader with a fifth. Okay, so in this way, my risk is already a fifth of what his risk is because I'm following 5 traders. But I can knock that down even further. So now my effective risk per trader is only a tenth of their risk. Does that make sense? So if they lose 2%, I'll only lose 0.2% because I'm following 5 of them. And I would say in the beginning, at least, that's definitely the way to start. I think the best way to learn how all this stuff works is to do it, but to do it small. So if you're happy following a level of 0.5 or 1, whatever, you can set it to what you want. So that's it. I'm ready to go. Confirm settings. So I need to do that for every individual trader. I can go through and choose. I'll choose 1. Are they all 1? Did I set them all at 1 before? Yeah, I did. Let's set Hectorus back to 1. So I'm following all the same amount. But remember, because I've got 5, my effective risk factor is only a fifth of their size. So there we go. So that's my trade setup. Again, I can do the idealized, the TARDIS view of how my trading would have done. And if I'm ready to go, I just start. So execute on live account, bang, click on that. So 4 of these traders already have open trades. I'm going to ignore them and I'll say just follow any new trades they do, execute portfolio, and that's it. We're away. Okay, so now we have, so this is now my live account. This shows you one of my live accounts, just under £512 thingy balance in there. No open trades yet, of course, because we've just started following them. Last close positions down here. And these are the last close positions on my account. You can see, because I'm following them relatively small, the size of the trades are tiny. So again, I think you can, if you've never done this before, you can dip this in, dip your toe in at a level of risk that you're happy with. The other thing you can do to control the risk is using this icon here, your loss protection. Basically, it's a stop loss on your account. So you can say, okay, if the balance of my account, including any open trades, falls to whatever level you want to put on there, 300 quid, 200 quid, whatever, I've put 250, then close all open positions. Okay, so it's a way, I mean, I keep an eye on this maybe once a day. I log in and just have a look and see what's going on. But normally I just leave it running smoothly there in the background. But I know if there's a catastrophic bunch of trades for some reason, which there shouldn't be because they seem to have sensible levels of risk, but a stop loss on my account. And the other thing I can do is have a stop execution now. So if for some reason you think, actually no, I need to stop everything, like I did in that previous screen, you can click on stop execution now, and that's it. All the trades will be closed. And it's as straightforward as that. There is like a trading platform you can log into, but for me, for the follow trade side of it, you know, I just look at the live accounts. Let me see if I can bring up another account that I've got. So I'll show you just some open positions, how it all looks. So this is an account. It's got a slightly different strategy. Let me see. I think it's running a loss of about 70 quid at the moment, but it has booked some other trades. There we go. So you can see there. So this is what it looks like. So we have, it's old Edel Metal is quite active. So there's another account that's been running for a while. And all the trades, what trade it is, stop loss, take profit. You can see the P&L updating in real time. And again, the other option, stop execution now. So and the idea is, you know, is almost you're managing traders, aren't you? You're trying to find a team of traders who sit there and work for you, do some trades, crunch out a profit. And it's something I'll sit down there and review every month how the traders are doing, you know, because I take the view that there's no point in me fretting about it every day how they're doing. But you know, because I've chosen them based on maybe their 6 months, their 3 months performance. So one day's performance really doesn't mean too much. I'm hoping they're going to turn a profit over, you know, a period of time. And in a way, I think it's like, you know, we have managed funds in our pensions and ISAs, don't we? It's a similar sort of thing to that. Having a team of people I'm going to pick who trade at a level of risk that I'm happy with, and I can sit there and monitor and change them if they start to go off the boil, if that makes sense. And this find top traders thing makes it easy, you know, to find traders that fit your own particular requirements when it comes to trading. Okay, I mean some of the P&L, you know, for me, I do think some of this profit and loss is clearly unsustainable. You know, you can't sit there making 120% every 6 months. But in terms of, you know, people with a nice smooth profit and loss chart, that's the sort of thing that gets me interested. Cash 1974 did have a smooth chart, has come off the boil a bit, you know, still managed to make 37% over the last 6 months, but has had quite a big drawdown. So that's one that maybe I wouldn't want to follow yet, but is one that I would maybe keep an eye on to see if it gets maybe back into the strides. One up, we can see this one down here, quite a volatile P&L, but a good trend over recent months, and maybe one for me to keep an eye on. And others you can see just don't trade very much, like this one here, bang, bang, bang. You can see that's not a very smooth P&L, just maybe done a couple of trades. It's only got 2 followers. But that's social trading in a nutshell. You know, I think for me, it's very complementary, I think, to your own sort of style of trading. You know, I still trade for myself. You know, trade sort of shares and indices and FX. But I think it's an interesting way of looking at the markets, particularly because lots of people say, you know, I don't have time. I don't have time to sit there and watch the markets all the time. I don't have time to decide what to buy or sell. So this way, you're like a football manager, picking a team of top traders to trade on your account at a level of risk that you're happy with. So that's it, really. That's the introduction over to sort of social trading and how it works. I'll give you a couple of links of stuff. Let me just flip back on the PowerPoint and give you my email address. So my email, if you've got any questions, because this is getting recorded, I'll send you the link to the recording so you can watch it again if you want to. But any questions, drop me an email. My email address is david@tradeafter.com. If you go to my website, so go to tradeafter.com, and there's a few bits on there. Let me bring up the screen and I'll show you. Let me show you the stuff. Hang on a second. Where's it gone? If you go to, I've written a couple of pages on sort of my experiences and how I do it. So you go to tradeafter.com, and it'll take you. It really explains sort of what I've been doing with it and the basics of opening an account. And again, if you open it, clearly I've got a commercial relationship with ayondo. If you open an account via me, I'm also doing sort of webinars for clients who come in via me. But if you click on, go to blog at the top and go to social trading first steps, I've sort of written down this webinar and take it and go through the steps of the sort of things I look for, their rankings, how to manage the risk, all of that. So that's all there on my website. So that's tradeafter.com. If you go there, it should all be there. But any questions, as I say, feel free to drop me an email. So the best email address is david@tradeafter.com. I'm doing the webinar tomorrow. Every Wednesday, I do a webinar, a market outlook webinar. So that's sort of for trading for yourselves, you know, for trading for ourselves, looking at where the opportunities are. If you go to the ayondo website, in a second, let me send you the link. Oh, I've not copied it. Why is that not copying? It's a struggle this time of day to get everything to work. Oh, my chat box isn't working. I'll send you the link via email when I send out the link to the recorded webinar. I'll put that in as well. But any questions, as I say, drop me an email, david@tradeafter.com. You can follow me on Twitter for sort of tweets and stuff on markets during the day. But I hope you've enjoyed this evening. We do this social trading webinar a couple of times a month. And the Wednesday market outlook webinar at 12:30 on a Wednesday. But that's it for this evening. I'll let you get back to your evenings, and thanks for coming along. Hope you found it useful. And like I say, the best way of doing is just to open an account, give it a go, but do it small and dial it down to a level of risk that you're happy with. But we'll wrap things up there. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock now, so we'll finish things up there and enjoy the rest of your evening.